What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Shadow Musa Gaming here, and today I'm here to do a brand new series for the channel, which is the Hall of Fame for Armaments. Now, how this works is that every week I'll actually ask my Discord channel. For those of you who haven't joined this Discord channel, you can always join the Discord channel from the link down below. But then again, every week I'll ask members of my Discord channel to actually post their best armament within the specific formation within the specific slot. For example, the week one was actually wedge formations, scroll slot armament. So, and what I'll do is I'll actually go over every single submission that you actually gave me, and then choose the best armament that I can find for that slot based on the potential of that armament. For example, for wedge formations, scroll slot, I'll actually not look too much into inscription, just because usually the best inscription that you can have for wedge is that legendary inscription that you have, unless you have double inscription with the legendary inscriptions on it, right? So whatever inscription that you have right now will not be that much of a consideration because you can actually win KVK and then get Autalk testimony and then eventually always put legendary inscription onto wedge scroll slot armament, right? So this is not really that much of a big deal unless you have double armaments, double inscriptions with legendary inscriptions as one of those. But instead, for this week's theme, I'll actually just evaluate whatever you have here on the armament attributes, right? For example, this one that I actually posted as an example, which was from my own account, has almost a perfect health roll, 3.5%, almost perfect defense roll, 3.4%, and then mediocre attack. But then again, as an overall armament, this is not a bad armament, right? So I'll basically evaluate your armament based on the armament attributes that you have here, because the inscription can always come later. So yeah, that's basically how this will do. Every week, again, I'll actually submit my request to you as a community. So I really appreciate your participation for these. And yeah, I thought it would just be fun to actually find out who has the best armor within my community for a specific theme. Now, with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So mine will not be actually counted as one of the Hall of Fame submission, but this is basically what I have. 3.5% health, 3.4% defense, 2.3% attack. Pretty good, right? It has Hunter, which is better than not having, but then again, this is not really of the consideration. Now, Seno here actually submitted us a pretty decent one too. 3.5% attack, which is max roll on Archer attack. Archer defense, 3.5%. All damage of 1.5%, which is actually really, really high on its own. He does have an inscription, which is robust, but he can always change that into Hunter, right? So a very strong first submission, Seno. I'll keep that in mind for my consideration. Let's just go ahead and move on. Lucky. All right, what does he have here? Spike, which will give you actually attack. Overall, pretty nice. 3% attack is really high. 2.9% defense is really nice. Cavalry health, 2.5%. All really good, but not as strong as the one that we saw above. But then again, pretty good armament, right? And also at the same time, this was a banner. So unfortunately, Seno did not read Lucky did not read the inscription. So currently, the best one is actually Seno. And I actually did tell him. But an Azure, who said I can't beat Seno, but then again, he's still submitted anyways. I really appreciate it, dude. But arguably, this is actually not bad at all, too, right? 2.9% attack, 3.3% defense. It's not 3.5%, so it doesn't look that clean, but all damage of 1.8% is actually quite powerful, given that this is a cavalry, right? For your reference, cavalry does have a lot more health than a lot of other people, other troop types. So all damage percentage, having a higher percentage of all damage percentage is actually going to outperform having a lot of health in terms of what you have on the armament. So I don't know. I don't know which one is better, to be really honest with you. I would say still Seno to a degree, just because of how pretty having 3.5% attack and defense on a max roll is. But I don't know. I would have to do the math if this becomes the runner-up. Having Hunter inscribed into it already is a really good thing too. So yeah, it looks pretty decent. Looks pretty decent. I wouldn't say you can't beat Seno Azure, but thank you for submitting. It looks really good. And this one right here. So sticky D-Rice. Let's see. Wedge formation. 3.3% attack, 3.3% defense, 2% all damage. Straight up, little bit of an upgrade from the one that we just saw, which was from Azure. It doesn't have inscription, but then again, it is a wedge formation scroll, so I did say not going to count too much of not having inscription there. But overall, a really, really powerful armament. I must say that 2% all damage is just really, really powerful for cavalry commanders, just because of how much health that they have, and then hence in order for us to replace the missing for us to actually replace all damage with health, it does take a little bit more. So overall, yeah, this looks really good, I must say. But let's just go ahead and move on. All right. Next one that we have here, I think this is a. I'm in the subscriber mode. What? It's the streamer mode, so I can't really tell. I think that's Is it Johnny? But anyways, I think it is Johnny. But so Johnny sent us an armament. Looks really decent. Have about 5.4, 8.7% stats. Does have robust inscribed into it. Looks really good. Not as powerful as the one that Seno has. So unfortunately, I don't think this is a winner. But it's good to see that he does have a really good armament though. And I would actually not mind inscribing Hunter into this, because this looks pretty powerful. If I was you, Johnny. But it looks really good. He said won't win, but I'll submit anyway. But it looks good. I thank you for sharing. Major pain. There you go. 3% attack, 2.6% defense, all damage of 1.8%. It's really powerful for Archer too. Unfortunately, I do think that this is a little bit outclassed by what Seno had, especially because he had all max roll on attack and defense, and he is missing a lot of that defense. But with all that said, this is a very powerful armament. A lot of people would actually die to have this. And also at the same time, this is not a scroll. I just realized this is an instrument. So wrong submission, but it's good to know that he does have a pretty good armament. But if I was actually evaluating instrument for Wedge, I would actually consider the inscription more so, because of the fact that you cannot get legendary inscription for instruments. Same reason why I don't have butterfly effect right now. Same reason why I'm actually pulling for mileages. But thank you, Major Pain, for sharing your armament. It looks pretty good. And I actually mentioned it right here. And Sticky submitted more. Let's see. Okay, this is 8.7% all health, all stats, which is really good. Robust, but not as powerful as the one that he submitted before. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. Or this doesn't look as strong as the one that I think Seno submitted too. So looks pretty good. Thank you for sharing. But then again, let's just go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, this one is interesting. So he does have a different cavalry scroll, 2.7% attack, 3.3% defense, which is a little bit less, and 1.5% all damage, which is a little bit less overall than the one that he shared earlier, which was 3.3% attack, 3.3% defense, and 2% all damage, right? And he does have inscription on it, but then again, I think that one that he submitted earlier does have a little bit more potential. And another wrong submission, instruments, but 3.5% attack and health looks really nice. Thank you for sharing. And oh, look at that, 3.3% attack, 2.5% defense, and 1.6% all damage. Looks really good too. This one actually can be a really good submission for Wedge banner because you can actually always inscribe legendary banner into this because it sells on the mileage shop, right? But it looks pretty good. And this one right here, okay, this one is an actual submission, right? It does have rare inscription, craze, which is actually really good. In some cases, I think craze could be better than hunter. Question mark. Just because of the fact that it does give you extra rage. But I think hunter is actually better too. So, like for most cases. So, yeah. But having craze is good. You can always replace that with hunter eventually. 3% archer attack is good. 1.8% defense though, that's a little bit lacking compared to other submissions. 1.9% all damage though looks pretty darn strong. If this had like 3% or more defense, I think this could have been better than what Seno submitted. But unfortunately, this is not. So I'll say still whatever Seno submitted for Wedge Scroll is better. But thank you for sharing. It looks really good. And that's pretty much it. So let's just go ahead and look through everything that we actually took a look at. Okay, this one right here. This one right here. This one right here. That's an instrument, so I'm gonna skip on that. This one right here. This one right here. I'm just selecting the ones that basically did actually submit for the right armament slot. This one right here. This is banner, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. And this one right here. So it will actually, if I was to choose the two best ones that I took a look at so far. Oh no, what did I do? If I was to choose the two best ones that I chose, that I looked at so far, I'll say it's either what Seno sent, which is 3.5% attack, 3.5% defense, and 1.5% all damage. It is only missing 1% all damage. Everything else is maxed out. It looks very clean because of the fact that 3.5% attack and 3.5% defense is max roll, on top of the fact that 1.5% all damage is actually the max roll for epic, right? It doesn't have an inscription on, but that doesn't matter. This looks really, really good. It looks clean, and that's one of the factors that I would take a look at too, right? If it's max roll and looks clean, that's something that I'll consider. Senos one is really good. Siki's one is actually really good too. It's missing 0.2% from attack and defense, but all damage is almost max roll. 2.5% is max roll, and it just cuts clean at 2%, which is good. And if I was to put the overall value of the stats, I would say Sticky's Wedge formation without inscription, Wedge formation scroll slot is actually going to be the winner. So thank you. Congratulations. Thank you everyone for submitting. For the first week of Hall of Fame for best armaments in Musa Gaming community is going to go to Sticky for the topic of Scroll of Wedge. And what I'll do is actually I'll go ahead and copy this image. And I'll go ahead and go to the Armaments Hall of Fame. And I'll actually post it right here. Hey, Sticky has been chosen as the winner of Week 1 Hall of Fame for the best armaments in Musa Gaming's community. And the reason why I actually chose this, for one, because all damage is really, really valuable for cavalry. And it does really, really a good job of replacing health for cavalry commanders, right? Having 2% all damage is almost as equivalent as having 4% health, right? Which is better than the max roll health. And on top of that, he does have almost max attack and defense. And him not having the inscription on there does not really matter because this is the scroll of Wedge, which he can always put special inscription for KVK shop on. And I'll basically go over all my details. So if you're actually watching the next episode, you can actually see that what I posted for the week 1. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope this was entertaining for you. And if you want to submit for your own Hall of Fame submission for the best armors of its kind, I'm thinking about doing maybe the banner next for potentially either pincer or wedge. So if you have one of those really amazing looking best armors that you can possibly have, feel free to join the Discord and then actually put your submission into Hall of Fame submissions right there. But then again, this is where I'll actually post every week on the weekly winners on the Hall of Fame best armaments. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, I'll see you all on the next video. Peace!